CCG here, Canadian Crab Guy, Pat. Just filling in on the Furry Frenzy Collab channel on Saturday, the 23rd of August 2014, and I'm just going to talk to you guys a bit about hermit crabs. I have 13 purple pinchers in my 75-gallon crab habitat. What you will need is you will need hides for your hermit crabs, as they like to hide during the day. You will need some salt water, and the salt water we're talking about is not your table salt, but it's a salt that you would use for marine salt, such as aquariums and stuff like that, to make salt water. The best stuff to use is Instant Ocean. Best stuff to use to make salt water. So you need a pool deep enough so that your hermit crabs could totally submerge. Fresh water is in the back. Again, you should have a deep enough fresh water so they can totally submerge. Temperature should be at 75 to 85 degrees. Humidity should be 75 to 100, as humidity will not hurt your hermit crabs. All it will do is, if you have fresh food out, it will create mold, as in humidity creates mold. You will also need a wide variety of shells, because hermit crabs love to change shells when they molt, when they come out of molds, or just because they want to change shells. You will need stuff for them to climb on. Cholla wood is one of the best items for them to climb on. You can also use netting, as I have here, a big piece of wood like I have here. I also have a barnacle back there, right there, that currently have a hermit crab on. Here's a top view of my habitat. So at the moment I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hermit crabs out and just and about. You will need food as well for your hermit crabs. You can feed them any kind of food that you eat personally, as long as it's organic. You don't want to give them food that has any pesticides or anything like that, because it can hurt them. Another good thing you can give them is this: Ripashi hermit crab food. On my channel I have a video of how to make this food. It's very fun to watch. Go and watch. Alright. For your salt water, you want to make sure that it's dechlorinated, and stuff you can use for dechlorinated is Prime. This stuff works very well. Use a little bottle. Can't really see that right there. Just put a couple of drops in and you're good to go. So what else would you need for a hermit crab, apart from the food and all that? Well, substrate. Substrate, you're going to want, a lot of people will say 8 inches no matter what. Well, you want to find your biggest hermit crab, and you want to make sure that he can bury himself 3 times the size of himself in a shell. So usually it averages out to about 8 inches, which is what I have. I do a 2-to-1 ratio, which is 2 play sand that you get at Home Depot for like $5, that's for a 20-pound bag, to 1 of EcoEarth. Unfortunately, here it's just EcoEarth, as I want to give them a divider of wherever they want to go. I've had hermit crabs that will only molt in EcoEarth, and I've had others that will only molt in substrate, such as the 2-to-1 ratio. If you can't have a bubbler, another good thing to have is moss. Moss is good as it retains moisture, so that you don't have to keep constantly spraying. And that comes back to your humidity. Humidity has to be, like I said, in the 75 to 80s. So let's talk about my tank. Up there, that's just an LED strip. It's about 12 feet long. Yeah, I'd say so. I put a bunch of rocks just around everywhere, so that when they go into the water, they don't bring all the quarter sand into it. That is just crafting mesh that goes all the way to the bottom, so they can really totally submerge. That's netting I got at Michael's. The background's just a background that I bought at my local fish store. Like I said, you want different kinds of shells or different kind of hermit crabs. Usually the purple pinchers are not too picky about what opening shells they use. But if you want to get the right shells, go with turbos. It's known fact that the purple pinchers love turbos. The barnacle is just a nice little addition to the crabdat. It takes out the color of everything being brown to being a purplish white. This is a large barnacle that I got from the Hermit crab patch. I got this a couple years ago, 2012. What the hermit crabs do, they'll pick at it and they'll eat it. Very cool. They very seem to much to like it. And I said, this is just a branch. I plan on doing much more to my habitat, but right now I'm leaving it as it is, just because. Yep, you can have live plants also. It's just you gotta find plants that your hermit crabs will not eat. I tried having a pothos vine. They ended up eating the roots and it died. I had a spider plant in here. Well, not this one. In my 55-gallon, I had a spider plant. They loved it. They would play in it, and eventually, after a month or so, they ended up eating the roots and it died. So right now, I'm just using fake greenery, just because it's so much easier to bend to the ways that you want. So, my hermit crabs, huh? This guy here, he's my biggest hermit crab. He already needs a bigger shell than this because he can't go into his shell fully. So next month, I'm going to order myself a bunch of shells, and hopefully he's going to switch into a way bigger shell. Jessica named him Hercules. Great name. I like him. I just don't want to get punched by him. So let's just put him down. Their life expectancy can be very long, 20 to 75 years for the purple pinchers. Their habitats, if you want to look into making a perfect habitat, just Google Costa Rica. Yeah, Costa Rica beaches, Costa Rica, that's where these guys are from. And you should be able to recreate something pretty cool. You don't need to have a 75-gallon tank. It's just, if you can get a really big tank, why not? You can have a 10-gallon tank and only put 2 hermit crabs in, as they are social. You need more than one. As I said, I have 13 in this tank. So the top of my tank, what I did is I put coroplast on top so that it stops the humidity and heat from coming out. My humidity right now is at 96%, as I just had the lid open. The temperature is at 24.5 degrees Celsius, which I think it roughly goes to about in the 70s, like 73 to 75. Usually stays right at 75. For that, I'm using a under tank heater by Zoom It that you put to the side or the back of your habitat. You never put it beneath where the substrate is, because hermit crabs will go down there for moisture and for the coolness if they find it's too hot. Also, a little trick that I found was what you do on the sides is you put cardboard. I have cardboard from here all the way to the other side. I can't show you the back of my tank as there's a curtain. I choose not to go all the way to the bottom, as you just want the heat to stay on the top. So I put their dish right here. I'm waiting for them to finish up their food before I give them new stuff. I give them a variety of foods. One thing you can definitely get is worm casings. They seem to really love that. It's a black powder-like substance, a bit granularly, I guess. It's very good. They seem to really love it. I don't know why. Well, there's my smallest of my hermit crabs. Yeah, it's still a purple pincher. Just very, very small. I'm hoping he's going to go and molt. And then maybe change shells. Molting can take very, very long, from the small ones to the larger ones. It's more frequently the small ones to molt than the big ones. A lot of people think just because you see the crab crawling into the dirt it means they're going for a molt. Not always. There are key signs to look for when your hermit crab goes for a molt. Either they're going to take in a lot of water, salt water, fresh water, and they're going to eat with a lot of food. And like I've seen sometimes usually they'll switch shells and then they'll go for a molt. A molt can last from a few weeks, a few months, to I think I've heard somebody had a molt for almost 6 months. The problem with a molt that lasts that long is you are not to dig them up, and if you see them, because sometimes they'll make a window, don't shine a light into it. It's not good for eyesight, and it's just not good in general. They lose their exoskeleton, which they will eat, but this also brings carnivore hermit crabs after them, because their exoskeleton is very aphrodisiac to other hermit crabs, but your hermit crabs will not eat each other unless it is mistaken for an exoskeleton as it molts. For more information on hermit crabs, please check out my website. My YouTube channel. Yes, check that out. I don't have a website. I should get one. Hope you enjoyed it, and keep watching. If you have any questions, comments, post them in the comment section. You can like a video, you can dislike the video. Have a good day.